this video, we're going to review quarterly business planning to review, strategize, and set goals with a purpose. I'm going to share with you my method for reflection and goal setting for each quarter. And I use quarterly planning because I believe you get way more done in a shorter amount of time, and I usually do. So by the end of this, you will not only have a clear plan for the next quarter, but also some systems in place to help you achieve those goals efficiently. So, ready? Let's get started. So, what we're going to be covering today is we're going to review, check, choose, create. So, we're going to review the past quarter, choose some goals and tasks for the new goals, and set yourself up for a success by creating an action plan. So before we look forward, we always have to take a look back. This is where most people skip ahead and review without reviewing, and then we don't know where we're starting. So the reviewing that past quarter is critical because we need to understand what needs to change and what systems are already working. So what goals did you set last quarter? Did you achieve them partially? Not at all? Take a second and write what goals you set for last quarter and the results of setting those goals. If you didn't reach your goals, don't get discouraged. It's okay. This is just information we need. It's not about us judging ourselves. We're just collecting this valuable information to move forward. If you did reach them, we need to know what worked. What systems or habits did you have to put in place to make that possible? Next, we're going to look at key metrics, the things that you set in place for the last quarter. What were the resulting numbers from that? It might be revenue, customer growth, social media engagement. It really depends on your business and where you are in that journey. Did you have a revenue target for the last quarter, and where did you land? A lot of times when we're starting something new, we can't even think about having revenue goals and client goals because we're still in the mode of fixing and setting up the business. But those are goals too. Having a goal of setting up the marketing source or the marketing section, like core areas of the business, or how many new clients or maybe how many new leads did you generate? What systems or processes helped or hindered you in that process? So take a minute to write down whatever your revenue target was, if you had one, how many new leads you got to generate, and what systems or processes helped you to do that. Take a few minutes to write this stuff down. It's going to be really important as we start to build the strategy. Now, think about the challenges you faced last quarter. Were there any roadblocks or bottlenecks? Maybe a system failed. Maybe you were just overcommitted and you just ran out of time and money, everything. It's important to recognize this stuff so we can create solutions in this quarter for the moving forward. But just as important as coming up with our roadblocks and obstacles is what were our wins? Even if we didn't achieve a goal, what were some wins we had? Sometimes we just focus too much on what didn't work and overlook all our wins. I knew I did that a lot in the early days of my business. All I could think about was what didn't work, what failed, when there were quite a few things that didn't work, quite a few successes. I just did not acknowledge them because they were not the goal. What systems did you have in place that made things easier for you? These are your power moves. They write down both of your challenges, both the challenges and your wins. So just take a minute to do that. Think about what worked, what didn't work. What were your challenges that you believe that kept you from moving forward with your goals? Now, let's take a minute and talk about setting goals for this upcoming quarter. The secret to success isn't just about the goals. It's about the system you're going to build to support those goals. What do I mean by systems-based goals? Say you have a goal to generate 20K in revenue next quarter. Instead of just focusing on that number and how many offers you have to sell for that, you can think about what system can I build that will generate revenue consistently. Maybe that's going to be a marketing funnel, a weekly email campaign, regular content creation, or even a lead generation process. Systems will ensure that you're not just chasing your tail. You're creating conditions where those results will happen for you, and they'll happen naturally. Now, you probably already heard of SMART goals: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. So, we're going to tweak that a little bit and talk about focusing on the system behind each goal. So, I've got a couple of goals here to be, for examples. For each of those goals, each of your goals, you're going to think, what system do I need to support this goal? What daily, weekly actions will help me keep this system running smoothly? Like an example, I will have 100 subscribers in my free membership by 12/31. I'm going to have some type of lead nurturing sequence for that. A lead magnet that will have emails that will nurture the system to encourage them to join. There will be some other moving parts to that, but there will be a system behind that goal. So take a minute to write down your 1 to 3 SMART goals: specific, measurable, achievable, and relevant, and time bound. Because this is how we get to the end of the year when we set a goal at the beginning of the year and we still haven't achieved it. This last 12 weeks is the time to just buckle up and go in for the kill. We can do this, but you have to be specific and intentional with your goal and your process to get you there. Now you've written those goals down, 1 to 3. Now, what's going to be the system that will support that goal? And if you have trouble thinking of the systems, join us over in the Reinventor Collective, where we're going to have a 5-day challenge about 30 days to a new you. And we're going to cover a lot more material about breaking down the goals, how to figure it out, how to use task management tools. It's going to be a lot of fun. So join us over there. Once you've written down your goals, now it's time to prioritize. Now, everyone has different levels of commitment to their goals. We all know that people are busy, but when we choose a goal, this is about your business. Which goal is going to have the most impact on your business? Which goal is most urgent? And do you have the resources and time to focus on this goal right now? Those are the questions to ask yourself when you look at those 3 goals. Because when I first started my business, I had a full-time job and had a long commute. So I would set 3 to 5 different goals. And very rarely would I get any of them completed because I was working on all of them all the time. But I gave no special attention to any of them. So I didn't get anything achieved. I had to learn the hard way that which one of those goals is going to move my business forward, which is the most urgent, and do I have the resources and time to devote to it right now? That eliminated a lot of things in my business. That eliminated a lot of decisions after I asked myself those questions. It always narrowed down to at least one goal that I could hone in and focus on. Because you need to, if you have a schedule and you don't have a lot of time, which one is going to make the biggest difference? Sometimes when we ask ourselves, hey, we want to achieve this amount of money and we have this and we have that, which of those goals, if you achieve that one, the other things will come along easily. That's another way to ask yourself about it. Now, circle the one goal that you believe is the highest priority for this quarter. Think about it. This quarter has already started. It's got a lot of holidays in there, so you're really going to be pulling back on your time as well. So, one goal. Remember, focusing on fewer high impact goals is way more effective than trying to tackle everything at once. Now that you've identified your goals and the systems behind them, you identified the system that you're going to use behind it. Now it's time to map out that action plan. So by having a 12-week plan, we have specific activities and tasks for each week. And at the end of that week, you're going to grade yourself. Now, I didn't invent this. This was pulled from 12-Week Year. I think Brian Moran is the author. But my own version of it is create my action plan and just grade myself on it at the end of the week. And sometimes I don't even move. If I didn't accomplish what I was supposed to in the first 2 weeks, can I move forward without those things? Maybe, maybe not. But I try to set up my week so that there are different things in each group of weeks that I can tackle. And again, there are some questions to ask when you start to make this plan. What needs to happen in the next 12 weeks to achieve this goal? What specific actions do I need to take each week? And what are the milestones? We have to have milestones so that we know along the way that we're moving forward. If we're just doing the same thing to the end, we need some way to identify that we're having success. So those are milestones. Maybe an example of booking some clients in your 12-week plan might be set up a lead generation system that will have your lead magnet and your nurture emails. Create a content calendar for social media and for emails. Run ads or some kind of promotion to drive your traffic toward the lead generation system. And analyze the results and optimize the systems. That's 4 different sessions of weeks, groups of weeks. Week 1 through 2 was the first task. 3 through 4 is the next, creating the content calendar and social media and email. 5 through 8, you do all the tasks around the ads or promotions to drive traffic. And 9 through 12, analyze results. Now, this is just an example. You may have tasks that take only a couple of days. So you have week 1, you can put multiple tasks in that. But I use examples of some things you would do to get booking 10 clients in your quarter. Those are some things that you could do. But think about your goals. A great plan is only as good as your follow through. And follow through is the by far most important and most neglected area. And that's why accountability is so important. For me, I create a system for the quarter with all the tasks broken out, and I assign dates and times to them. And I give myself a daily check-in. And this is where I started with Trello. I have a more detailed system somewhere else in ClickUp, but this basic system kept me going. I was able to put all the tasks in here, dates, due dates, urgency, everything's in here. It's a simple card system in Trello. And then have daily check-ins. I tracked my progress in my task management tool. I also gave myself, I have a paper planner. I would list my master to-do list. I would have a list of tasks that I could scratch through. It always gave me some type of pleasure in lining through items as done. Same thing with check boxes. I love checklists as well. Weekly review at the end of that week. What did you get accomplished? What did not get accomplished? Is it something that's absolutely necessary, or should we just scratch it off and move forward? And then thinking about how you felt about getting things done. Do you need to tweak any of those systems you created? And be open to adjusting the plan as needed. That's the whole point of having something where you're checking in and accountability. And the final one is huge, accountability partners. I have always done well when I gave myself accountability to another person, either joined a group or a community. If you're interested, join Reinventor Collective, where we're going to have lots of accountability partners. You can team up and just keep accountable on the things you do in your business and for yourself. But finding someone who can check in with you regularly and help keep you on track. For a lot of us, it's difficult because we're in business, but we're surrounded by people that are not. You may have family where they just have jobs and they don't understand the things you got to do. They can't really keep you accountable because they don't know what you're doing or how important it is. Finding a like-minded person that you guys can keep each other accountable. I had to find an accountability partner to get me to do my YouTube videos because I just would procrastinate or record them and never upload. My accountability person would message me and text me and say, "Oh, is it done yet? I didn't see it." Or what are you working on today? Are you working on video? Little things like that will make a big difference. And you're having a busy day and someone can remind you to take time for yourself and do the thing that you said you're going to do. And the final thing is having integrity with yourself. Sometimes we will jump through hoops not to disappoint and to keep our word for others, when really we need to be just that, live in integrity and be just that committed with ourselves. Take a moment to write down 1 or 2 accountability systems you'll use to stay focused, whether it's daily check-ins, weekly, or just getting connected with a top accountability partner. Now, the tools, there's so many different tools to help you stay on top of project management, task management, and planning for your business. I tend to send people toward the simpler tools, which is Trello, Asana, even your Google Calendar. You can actually pretty much run all your projects through your Google Calendar if you really wanted to. Some people like Airtable and Excel. You don't need a lot of tools. Just pick one. And pick one that you're going to be committed to actually using, because here's the thing, the consistency that you use with managing and tracking your goals will be the same consistency and energy you have with running things and projects in your business. And the easier it is for you, the better it will be. So a quick example, when you're planning, it could look something like this. Week 1 could be planning and writing your content for your membership or whatever the thing you're launching. This is a membership launch example. Week 3 through 4, create landing pages and modules for the trainings. Week 5 through 8, promote the launch. 9 through 12, host webinars and live trainings to push people to the event. And then finally assess after it's done. Review and analyze your web pages and content to compare what's working, what's not. Remember, the key to success with your goals is not just setting them, it's creating the systems that will help you achieve them. Reflect on your past. You can choose and create strategic goals and build a plan that is grounded in sustainable habits and systems. So I encourage you to take the next step by implementing your own 12-week action plan. If you need help, I'm here to support you. Just join us in Reinventor Collective, or feel free to reach out to me or in the comments to ask questions. Thank you. And I'm excited to see what you'll be accomplishing at the end of 2024.